Hey Diane, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I didn't think I'd run into you at the environmental conference.
Of course, I love nature.
I know, so do I. Well, looks like a good conference. We should learn a lot about environmental education.
Yeah, I have lots of good things I think lined up for my day.
You picked some good sessions?
I think I picked some good ones.
Cool. At 5 o'clock when it ends, do you want to do something?
Sure. I know some really good culturally significant places around here if you'd like to go with me.
Oh, that's right, because you're originally from here, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe we could go to Lakeland Mountain.
Oh, Lakeland Mountain. Like you go for a hike?
Yeah, we could go for a walk.
That's on my list.
Your list for what?
For mountains that I've always wanted to climb. I got a list of mountains I want to bag.
Well, I think that this mountain will mean more to my people. It's very culturally significant.
Okay, well, maybe we can see later today, but this is definitely one I can check off my list.
Well, maybe we'll see once we get walking.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you back here at 5.
5 o'clock.
Oh, that was a long climb, but we made it. Oh, that was cool.
It was a really, really worthwhile hike.
It was an awesome hike. Oh, I'm just going to show where we came from. We came from all the way down at the bottom of the creek there. Oh, that was a big hike. Oh, I'm still a little tired. Oh, number 29 mountain. All right, I can't believe I got 29 mountains under my belt. That is so awesome. I just get so much fulfillment from climbing a mountain. Oh, that mountain was so awesome. Hey, what are you doing over there, Diane?
I was just putting some tobacco down.
On the ground?
Yeah, I'm paying respect to the land.
What for?
To maintain my relationships with the land and to thank it for allowing me to be part of this.
So what number of mountain was that for you?
I don't count how many mountains that I've climbed. Mountains aren't to be conquered.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, mountains are more than that. We need to maintain our relationships with the land, and we're part of it. We don't own it. It's not ours to conquer, to go take control of.
Oh, I was at a session earlier today that talked about cultural significance in environmental education. It's pretty interesting. Talked a lot about history and relationships to all living things. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like there's stories that are told here. My ancestors, the Métis people, came here during their trades. We gathered here together to maintain relationships. It's not about conquering a land, as we're part of it.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I think I might be stuck on 29 because I don't think I'm ever going to conquer another mountain. I think I'm going to learn about the place that we go and realize why it's important and go on a hike and learn those things while hiking as opposed to conquering moving forward. Thanks for really sharing this with me, Diane. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad you were part of my journey.
Thanks. Okay, well, I hope you liked our little skit about environmental education and how I perceived climbing a mountain in a different way than Diane had perceived it.
Mine had more cultural significance to land.
And my perspective is I was using land as an object for my own self-satisfaction. So it's kind of interesting. The skit stems from an article that we read called Healing the Earth, Environmental Education as a Cultural Criticism by Noel Go. In that article, they talk about environmental education and experiential education, how their stories constructed in response to some of the perceived inadequacies of Western culture, but they also embody these inadequacies. So in the article, it starts off by talking about how often environmental or experiential education uses Earth as an object, and it teaches that way. So it will teach to use Earth as an object, so for human use, for you to profit from, to use for our own personal gain, and so forth. And a lot of environmental education programs do that. Second of all, it talks about how some people use environmental education as a connection to nature, as a way to escape from the city or urban life, but there's really no meaning placed on that. And then within that, they'll often colonialize or take part or ownership in these lands as they escape. So maybe it's the lake lot or a piece of land that they buy and that they log for personal profit, things like that. Then it goes on and talks about shallow environmentalism, and it talks about how shallow environmentalism is kind of the trendy environmentalism. So a Visco girl, save the turtles. So really, again, more for popularity or for one's own gain as opposed to actual being invested in the movement. And then it talks about how to deal with some of these inadequacies, and I think Diane's going to talk about them.
Yeah, so some ways to deal with the inadequacies is to really tell the stories, relay the relationships that there was cultural significance to the land is one way to do this. And part of that has to do with naming and unnaming places that we have, or things, or names for animals or humans or living or non-living things, when we all have a relationship and we're not necessarily divided. So a way to deal with that inadequacy is, for example, in the article it said that there was a mutton bird. That just says it's good for eating, whereas it has more meaning than that. So it's really unnaming that and figuring out this cultural significance that has within part of the land, and developing those relationships by telling those stories and by creating those relationships that are culturally significant to the land.
I think that we recently experienced a little bit of that on our canoe trip by meeting the local elder beforehand, talking to her, getting a little bit of idea of the area. Diana's family is originally from this territory, so as we were going on our canoe trip, we were able to kind of experience or see some of those things.
Yeah, as we were going through and develop those connections while we were out there, and not only with the land but with each other as well.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing, with each other as well. Great article. Hope you enjoyed our skit.